good, SJ. Question, you started at the top of your campaign going after Marco Rubio specifically. Do you think that we're at a point in this race in which it's time that the field has to address the differences between the different candidates?
I think that's what campaigning's about, is talking about how you're different. And what I'm concerned with Marco's refundable tax credits is right now we have $4 billion a year going to illegal aliens. My concern is if you double and triple that, will Marco's plan double and triple the amount of tax credits going to illegal aliens? That does concern me, and I think he's going to find that it's not very popular to be for a program that is giving money to illegal people who come into the country illegally.
Should this hurt him in this bid for the nomination?
I think it ultimately is going to, because we're going to have a debate in this country about what is fiscally conservative, and I think he's got $1 trillion worth of new welfare payments and $1 trillion worth of new military payments, and I just don't think that that's fiscally conservative.
Senator Paul, monetary policy suddenly kind of was injected in the last debate, and that's been kind of your bread and butter. Senator Cruz talked about, actually during the CNBC debate, to tie this to gold. As president, would you push a gold standard?
I think what we try to find out is to study the situation and see if we could have a currency that's once again backed. When we did have a currency backed by a commodity, backed by gold or silver, the currency maintained its value. And I think there are many who argue that a stronger currency and a stronger value is actually much better for an economy to grow, for real wages to grow, and for people to have real savings and not have their savings taken from the money. So I do support the concept. How we get there is a more technical aspect, but I would definitely study it and see whether we can do it practically.
Senator Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz have been arguing today about who wants to deport more people. What do you think about that?
I think that the biggest issue right now is what I've talked about with the tax credits, that whether or not Marco Rubio is in favor of giving refundable credits or welfare to illegal aliens. The program that he's supported expanding already gives about $4 billion to people in the country illegally, and I think that's a mistake. With regard to how we fix the immigration system, currently if we do nothing, I think that I would call that de facto amnesty. So you have 11 million people here illegally. If you do no reforms, they're still here. So I think we really should do some reforms. What I've objected to with Marco is that he has blocked all conservative ideas. There was basically a secret deal between Marco and Chuck Schumer to exclude all conservative amendments on the immigration bill. I had an amendment called Trust But Verify. Rubio opposed it, and my amendment would have said that Congress votes every year on whether the border is more secure, and then we figure out a way to institute reforms if Congress says the border is more secure. But when Marco got together and made a secret deal with Chuck Schumer to block all amendments, I knew really the fix was in, that he was not going to allow any conservative immigration.
What about H-1B?
Let's do one more here, and then we'll come back.
During the debate, it seemed like on the defense issue, the two things that Rubio and others tried to do was say you're an isolationist and try to use sort of a fear that if you don't fund it at the level they want, we're less safe.
I think the real question is whether or not the debt makes it more dangerous for us. Admiral Mullins has said the biggest threat to our national security is our debt. And if Marco is going to add $1 trillion worth of new debt for the military and $1 trillion worth of new debt with refundable tax credits, I think that really endangers us, and I think it really threatens our security. If you look at my defense program, I'm a Reagan conservative. I believe in peace through strength. I believe in a strong military, but I don't believe in spending so much that we bankrupt the country. The difference between Marco and I is he will spend whatever it takes, even if it means that we go further into debt. I think we should spend what comes in. $3 trillion comes in taxes. I think that's what we should spend.
Right here?
Looks good question. Campus protests.
Campus what?
Campus protests are targeting these college students. What is your message to places like the University of Missouri where these conflicts are arising?
I think open discussion and having debate, protest, all of that should be allowed to occur on college campuses. What's been occurring, though, is we're getting shrinking ability to have freedom of speech on campus. Comedians won't even go. Many prominent comedians won't go to college campuses because they think there's a lack of freedom of speech, a lack of humor. And so really I'm for more openness, more discussion. I don't know the specifics of what's happening having at each university, but I do think that the ability to have free and open discussion is a good one. Thanks, everybody.